Hey you guys, this is Solix867539, and I'm just going to do a little video here. So this is going to be, I'm going to start out by talking about just a little update about what's going on. I know this is the first video that I've done in a while. Well, if you haven't noticed, all of the places that YouTube's getting slower and slower for uploading videos. So I noticed that, it's getting a little bit tougher for me to upload. It's the places that I would normally upload, it's taking forever to do anything. I am seriously considering just lowering the quality of the videos, drastically, and keeping an HD version for myself, that once I get better internet, I can always go and implement later. I found an ISP that sounds like it's going to be a good deal, but, we're going to have to wait and see, because the last one seemed like a good deal also, and it was not. Alright, well, this little update is going to be about the WiiU. For you guys that do know about it, good. For you guys that think it's just a controller, really. Alright, well, essentially, the WiiU is going to be the next generation console from Nintendo. It's going to have 1080p graphics, and it's also featuring a brand new controller, which is very interesting. It's definitely got a lot of people talking. I do love the spam screw attack. But one thing that people have had a big misconception about is there's a lot of people that think it's a brand new controller and that's it. No, it is not just a new controller, it is a brand new console. For you guys that do not know what the console is, it looks similar to the Wii U. Wow, it looks similar to the Wii. Essentially, it kind of looks like the original white console laid on its side. Now, it just, it has the normal buttons like every other one has, except for in the back, it has an HDMI, AV, sensor bar, etc. So, it has HDMI, so that's another good bonus. Now, this console did lose GameCube support, but, I don't think we're going to really miss it, especially because they've supported it for this long. I think it's okay to drop it's okay to keep a generation back. But I think anything further would just kind of hinder the ability. So I can imagine them coming out with new stuff. Now the controller has a 6.2-inch screen in the middle. Otherwise, it has all the same buttons as like the classic controller. So it's kind of interesting. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, the Vita can do this. This isn't nothing new. You can play the full-range games on this tiny screen, which is one of the big things they were talking about at E3. Yes, the Vita can do that, but this thing does something different. The example I'm going to use is something that I thought might work for a game. It's like, let's say I'm playing an army-based game where it's all combat, only I had to be tactical. Well, so my people are sneaking in at the dead of night. You can't see anything, but there's an enemy base somewhere. So you have to find it. Well, when you go to find it, you need night vision specs. So you go to turn on your night vision. Well, you could just press a button like other consoles. But in here, I'm going to have the dark area on the screen. I'm going to pick up the controller, aim it at the TV. Screen facing me. Through that screen, I'm going to see the night vision. But behind it, the TV is still going to show black. So I'm like, it's kind of an interesting thing to think about that, maybe we could do this. It's kind of a neat concept, and I think that if a game company really wanted to impress the fans, they could really use this technology to their benefit. Now, there were no working games at E3 for this system. So we never really actually got to see the actual power of the system, but based on the games that are coming out for it, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice system. Now, the controller is going to be really cool because it's going to be, number one, a different way to view games. You can take the games with you, not in the way that you're thinking, but I mean, like, let's say, I need to go in the kitchen. Oh, hey, I could take the controller with me and play the game on the controller. Of course, you still need the console there, you know, within the vicinity. Because I believe it's going to be a wireless transmission of the video stream. I do not think it's got to be tied down, you know, kind of like because at E3 they did show the demos, and the demos had them tied down to the table. I'm thinking that was just because you know, they don't want anybody stealing it, right? I mean, even at GameStop when the Wii was first out, they tethered the Wii remotes, and you know, they're wireless. So, you know, it's different. Now, if you're wondering why I'm stinking so bad, I'm playing on a Classic Controller Pro, and this is actually one of my first experiences with this game with the Classic Controller, so just kind of bear with me. I'm still getting confused on what's grapple, what's shield. Anyway, so we're going to have that. The Wii U is going to be getting its own almost app store, so I can imagine we're going to be getting some Flash games, maybe even some indie games, because I noticed like even VVVVVV was released for the 3DS, which is it's a very good game. I would recommend it. I have it on Steam. And I can imagine on the 3DS it would look really cool. I would definitely recommend that if you guys have not gotten it yet. These guys are being a pain in the butt for me. But yeah, so that's that. Now, what the rumors are going around is that this thing is actually going to be more powerful than the PS3. So, I mean, it's kind of nice that Nintendo's kind of getting out there with the power a little bit. You know, they're kind of getting out of their comfort zone. You know, so I mean, it's kind of interesting. I kind of want to see where it's all going to go. Come on. Can't talk and play at the same time. But, surprised I'm actually still alive. But, so, yeah, that's how that's gonna go, pretty much. So, from then, there have been tons of rumors going around on just stuff that I think is just kind of dumb and kind of untrue. For the fact that the Xbox 720 is gonna beat out the Wii U. There have been leaks on specs for both systems, and it only shows that the Wii U is going to be 20% less powerful than the new Xbox system. And that essentially is considerably less than the difference between the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So, I mean, I can imagine these systems being almost identical. I always laugh at, you know, PS3 fanboys and Xbox fanboys, you know, arguing about which screen has a better beta, you know, which has more blades of grass on it. Well, it's, you know, it's going to be literally that, I think, for this new system. Now, the Wii U is, they were planning a name change. I'm not sure if that's still in effect. I'm hoping it is, because personally, I think the Wii U is kind of a odd name. It's definitely not what I would have chosen, because, well, I think the one reason why the 3DS is, you know, was doing, well, I don't know what you were doing, was not doing so well, was because it literally sounded like the original system. I mean, it's two screens, and they've come out with so many different versions of it. Who would have known, right? So, I mean, I think that's one thing that kind of held Nintendo back for the 3DS, and so I'm hoping they do change it, because the Wii U, you know, a lot of people think it's just another controller for the Wii. So, I mean, I would definitely change it. Now, the third-party support on this system looks to be pretty good so far. By the looks of it, it's you have some from Temco, of course. Ever since I think ever since Team Ninja helped with Metroid Other M, they've been a kind of a big fan of Temco. I mean, the Temco's been they like Nintendo, and they always said, hey, we'd love to work with them again. So I can imagine that. Oh, that's great. The Ninja Gaiden 3 is going to be pretty cool. Assassin's Creed, some of the other bigger titles are finally making their way to a Nintendo system. So that's going to be pretty nice if I think. I have never tried any of these games before because, I never really had the system. And it's not really because I don't like Microsoft or Sony. I'm fine with them. It's just that I think their systems are really expensive. And, that's what's been holding me back. I mean, like, if the Wii U is going to cost, like, an arm and a leg, I'm not going to buy it until the price goes down. And if it means waiting till now, like, for the Xbox 360 and stuff, I will. Because, I mean, I'm not paying insane prices for it. Pick up the hammer. Okay. So yeah, that's how that's going to work out. For first-party games, I believe that it's going to be pretty good. I can imagine Nintendo doing a lot of great things with the HD. The thing is, though, I feel that the third-party games, for a bit, are going to look probably to par with PS3 graphics. I mean, and that's it. They're probably not going to look any better than the PS3. Mostly because, at this point, they probably want these games to be really easy to port over to other systems. So I can imagine it being pretty much like that. So I think we're probably just going to have PS3 graphics for third parties for a little bit, and Nintendo's going to be doing most of the big stuff. Darn, I missed it. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. Now, some of the rumors that I've heard that are just completely untrue. There is only, I believe, like one really big Wii U game that's really, that we've heard about, and that's Super Smash Bros. There's a lot of people that are saying, even still, that it's not under development at all. They haven't even started. Darn, I missed it. That is actually false. Development started a while back. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago, I believe. So, I mean, don't expect this game to be done and have something announced at E3. There is no way it's going to be finished that quickly, especially if it's going to be a 1080p style game. I would definitely wait, and all that stuff. So, it's probably going to be a good couple years until we actually see something. Now, I'm just going to clarify a couple things. This is not just a tablet. We're going to have many different things to do with it. I believe even we could take it places, etc. Now, there's also been a lot of confusion over the one Wii U controller per console. How are you going to play multiplayer, all that stuff. Do not worry, I believe it'll be fine. I think that just the one Wii U controller is enough. It's just that we have, for instance, all the other controllers are compatible. I mean, the controllers that you have now for the Wii are completely 100% compatible. They're still going to be selling them when the Wii U's out, because they're still going to be being used. The Wii U controller is just something different. So, I mean, we're going to be seeing pretty much the same stuff. But the Wii U controller can change it up if they want to. So, I mean, we're going to be seeing, like, for instance, first-person shooters. They are optional to use the Wii U controller, or if they want, they can use the Wiimote and Nunchuck. Or they could use a mixture of both. If somebody, like, if the player, let the player decide. So I can imagine it would work that way. Also, I've heard that the Wii U controllers can communicate with each other, so I can imagine it's probably something kind of like the 3DS and like the 3DSs and Street Pass and Spot Pass. I can see that kind of being, you know, the same thing. Wow, I lost track of who I am. But yeah, so I mean, I can see it being pretty interesting to see what exactly happens. But you know, I can imagine that you could have some multiplayer games that could be stored like flash-based or something from like what would be on an iPod. You know, and I think that's a good thing because right now, handheld games are being really just combated by one thing, and that is the products like iPod, iPad, etc. Because these things are out, and people just want portable gaming devices that are simple, you know, 5-minute games that you can pick up. They don't want to play an RPG. I am the other way around. I would rather play an RPG than a 5-minute game. But, you know. So that is pretty much all on the Wii U right now. For you guys that are unaware, Operation Rainfall has pretty much... they've gotten Nintendo to come out with Xenoblade Chronicles and The Last Story. Now, I mean, they didn't actually, you know, force Nintendo to do it. They just really suggested it. And, so, they've succeeded in doing a couple things. So, for North America, The Last Story is coming out. I've heard this summer. Perhaps June. And then we have Xenoblade, which comes out April 23rd, I believe. So that's going to be all kind of neat. Pandora's Tower is the last one that we need to get. So yeah, so that's all going to be there. And then we have just I don't think the Wii is going to last very much longer. Probably a year especially with these 3 RPGs. If they release the Pandora's Tower, we're going to have at least a year left on the Wii. But I'm thinking if Nintendo announces some great things at E3 this year for the Wii, it could last longer. I can imagine some simple games on both the Wii U and the Wii. So, you know, who knows? We might see something pretty cool. You know, but it all really depends. Now, I have not heard anything on the Metro 25th. Sadly, I was hoping I could say something about it. But yeah, and last thing, the Wii U is scheduled for release after this year's E3. Sometime after this Wii U's E3. So it could be, who knows, right after E3, or it could be holiday, you know, 4th quarter. We're not really sure at this point. They haven't really said too much. But, you know, we can speculate all we want, but I think that before we're going to do anything, I know for me, before I do anything, if I buy the system or not, I have to, I want to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. I need to really just know the pricing, so who knows, it could be coming out later, but, you know, I would just say that at this point, it would be a safe bet to, you know, see if it's going to be any good before we actually get it. So this E3 is going to tell us a lot. So I'm just, I'll probably come out with more videos then, and yeah, hopefully by then I'll have better internet, so I could probably do a video that day recapping and telling you what I think. So, until next time, this is Silex867539. I just died. Great. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later.